All right, hello everybody. In this video, I'd like to talk about how I recently loaded 7 cars in this 6/7 car trailer. And as you can see here, I kind of drew out a model, a 1/18 size scale model of the trailer I pull, right? It's common trailer, Kentucky car, known as Kentucky, commonly referred to as Kentucky Hardside 6-car trailer. And in the last 10 years or so, they had the 7/6 or 6/7 car trailer. So the older style trailers had the 3 decks on top, and the newer ones have 4 decks on top. Here is the measurements of each top deck. It's interesting how they're different lengths, and this is out of the owner's manual of the trailer. So each deck has 2 post lifts, or 2 hydraulic cylinders lifting them, and then the bottom decks go down. So that's kind of what I used, and measurements off of the real thing that I pulled. So here's another diagram view of how they are. So it's the interesting part about these decks is they once you change the geometry, once you tilt it, you're changing the geometry of the length where the points connect. And each deck has this slide pivot point on the front of it, 30 inches of this little box. I don't know if you can tell in the diagram, but like there's like a little box here. That's where the pivot point is. So that way, that's how you're able to do what I just did in the previous video, which seems very complicated and impossible, and it's very challenging, and you could damage a car easily. But that last load we delivered successfully. So what I wanted to say is how it I just want to show you how to do it. Some of the guys, so this was my second time doing it. Some of the other guys would not tell me how to load 7 in, the guys in the company, because they said it's very easy to damage a car, and if you do, we don't want you to blame us. So if you figure out how to do it, you can do it. And there was a situation I was in. I picked up a couple cars, and the customer said, "Would you take one more?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." After I found out it was a smaller car and that I could put it in this spot, the second spot, that's where it should be, the smaller car. So in that case, it was a BMW M Coupe. I don't know if you see that in a few videos. So what you try to do is preferably load your first car, and preferably it's not having a giant spoiler like this. Preferably it's something you can angle up. So we angle up this deck like that, and looks like this car could fit here, right? Like that. Just for the purposes of this video, right? Let's say we got the nose correctly in the bubble there, and it's like really close to the roof line, right? So we then load the second car. Okay, I guess sticking that pen in will make it hold. So we load the second car. Notice how usually as soon as I go over this hump, I stop, and then Now, and then the car's in kind of a good spot. So, as you can see, we tilted the deck. We can now, we tilted the front top deck, and we've created this gap over here, right? So we could then tilt this deck down and drive our car in like so, right? So it could stay like that, and then we could tilt the bottom deck a little bit lower, and we could have room for our car down there. And then this deck should go like that, and then the next car will go in like that. However, moving, it may sound kind of doable at this point, but you may not be able to move this car all the way as far forward as you need to get the clearance you need from this deck not hitting the back of the car. So the car may be like so. Well, I guess you'll have to do without the light. So let's say we're in this situation where this deck, you drove the car up, you can't move it any forward. Let's say you're really close to these cars. And how are you going to lift this deck up? Well, an interesting phenomenon happens. As you're monitoring so you don't hit the car here, going up and down, climbing up and down the ladder, checking, you tilt this car up as much as it can go like that. And as you're doing that, remember it has those slip joints on the front of each deck. And so you're moving this deck up too. And so the deck kind of, there becomes this this huge space between the decks as you're angling them up. I'm exaggerating, but you may have to go to a point like that. And the deck will be, as you're moving it back, it'll move like that. I'm exaggerating, but more in reality, it'll be like this. And so what you'll be able to do then is slide this deck down and narrowly miss hitting that deck. And boom, you got your car sunken down between the top and bottom deck. So then all you got to do is have this deck like so. And I need another model car. Unfortunately, this is all I have, 2 Dodge Concepts. So what you'll do here is you'll have the deck, and it'll be just slightly overlapping the car. It'll be like that. So you're not doing much. It may not look like you're doing much. You may be just stealing a foot, You may be stealing a foot. The deck, it may be actually like that. So it may actually look like that, and you're just overlapping a little bit above this car, just 6 inches from each. So you stole a foot, or if you get a foot from each car, now you stole 2 feet. So that's quite a lot. So then you got the other deck here. We're going to take the Ferrari from here. And what you'll do is you'll drive up the other car. Make sure it's not bottoming out right here. And then you could put it like that. Oh, we just hit. That's it. So, oh, no. Come on, stay with me. Stay with me. So, basically what I'm trying to do is, I'm having some technical difficulties here, guys. Okay, so you can see I've kind of exaggerated because I didn't need to go that far. But in actuality, it did turn out to go pretty far here when I did that. And then you could drop it a little bit. Right, we're gonna drop this car with the deck that we just moved. It'd be nice if I could make these cars connected to the decks, so then, anyways, what we're doing here. So it'll end up like that. If I could just get it to stay. I'll have to reshoot this video sometime. Anyways, so you get the point. So now you stole a foot here, which turns out 2 feet, right? And you stole a foot at least here and here. It's another 2 feet. So all you have is the back car driven on, and you could just angle the deck slightly up like that. And then we're gonna take this Dodge and we'll drive it in like that. And it will be just lightly, just a little bit overlapping here too, just enough to get the liftgate door to close. And it'll be slightly over. So you can see it's, the boss doesn't want you to do this with new Ferraris. I did it. Thank God. Thank God nothing bad happened, you know. And we had the other Ferrari here, you know. It's right here. Maybe this deck was kind of like that above it. Ready. So it's close tolerances, but you get my point. It's doable if you're in a pinch and if you got smaller cars. And I put the smallest Ferrari here, the 298 GTB. So if it works out that way, where you can do the math, figure out the length of the car, in the wheelbase of the car. Remember, these decks are different lengths. So those are the lengths that the decks are. I was surprised to learn that when I measured it myself with the tape measure. And now in the cars, they can be very different too. Like you could see these scale model cars, you could see the wheels. The wheelbase is longer on the one car, but the car is a shorter length. So no wonder this Ferrari will handle better than the Dodge, because it's got a, wait. The Dodge has a longer wheelbase, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to say about that. But as you can see, the Dodge has a little bit longer wheelbase, but when you connect them by lengthwise, the Ferrari's longer. So you have a lot of variables, a lot of mathematics, a lot of things that could go wrong and you damage a car. So I don't know how else to learn, but you have to have plenty of time and a way out. Yeah, so how do you guys like my model? You like my model trailer? Should I build an actual model to hold these cars in? It could look cool, huh? Anyways, so that's it. And thanks for this video. I hope you learned something. Let me know in the comments if you have loaded 7 cars in a trailer. In a Hardside Liftgate Kentucky trailer. Oh, why did I do that? I should have numbered these. Now I got to measure them out. See, I told you they're different lengths. I made these to scale 1/18 from the real lengths. Yeah, so let me know. Let me know. I want to know who else does this. How many times have you done it? What it feels like. And if you would like to try it, Let me know if you did try it after this video, or maybe you tried it and it didn't work. I know there's probably another way you could do it. You could probably go like this. Boom, boom. I don't know if anyone else does it like that. Is that possible? I guess if you have a really small car here, like a Formula One car maybe, I don't know. You could do it like that. But one of the challenging things that happened in the last trip is I wanted to, well, when you set this one like that and your liftgate comes in flat, it's a steep angle here. So on a low Ferrari, it would be impossible to have it go from the liftgate to that right away. So you know, I put the Porsche 911 went up that steep ramp okay, because it wasn't as low and long like a Ferrari. So so you got that to deal with also. It's kind of a fun puzzle. Rack 'em and stack 'em 101. Is that what we should call this video? Rack 'em and stack 'em. This is what makes car haulers genius.